Elon Musk, the man who brought us Tesla, SpaceX, and a flamethrower just for fun, has built his empire on the promise of innovation, speed, and ultimate efficiency. He's a living embodiment of Silicon Valley's belief that bold ideas and ruthless execution can solve virtually any problem. So when whispers began that Musk's famed efficiency measures were going to be adapted to streamline government operations, it seemed, at least on paper, like a match made in heaven. Government bureaucracy, after all, has long been the poster child for sluggish decision-making and wasteful spending. Surely Musk could fix that. But reality had other plans. Let's rewind to the moment this bold experiment began. Using his celebrity status and reputation as a first principles thinker, Musk pitched a plan built on ideas that had already achieved staggering success in the private sector. The concept was simple. Government functions should be treated like startups. Departments would eliminate redundant positions, focus on delivering minimum viable services, and leverage cutting-edge tech like AI to replace bureaucratic red tape. With Musk at the helm, it was marketed as nothing short of a revolution in governance. Politicians, desperate for voter approval and fresh ideas, were captivated by Musk's vision. Public officials claimed his measures would turn bloated agencies into lean machines by removing inefficiencies plaguing everything from urban planning to tax collection. Musk himself famously quipped during a press conference, "Government is just another system. If it can't run efficiently, it's no different than a crashing program that needs debugging." Bold words, but were they feasible? When the program launched, Musk applied the principles he used to build Tesla's gigafactories to an entire federal agency overseeing infrastructure development. He reduced staffing by half, arguing that fewer people meant more streamlined communication. He scrapped traditional workflows in favor of hyper-automation software designed to reduce paperwork. Every project was assessed for cost-benefit through granular data analytics, and timelines were drastically shortened to meet aggressive private sector speeds. But what Musk didn't anticipate, and perhaps underestimated, was the sheer complexity of government itself. Agencies aren't startups, and their performance can't be measured solely through profitability or efficiency. For example, white-collar government jobs don't just exist to push paper. They ensure checks and balances that prevent corruption, safeguard public resources, and maintain legal and ethical standards. When Musk reduced the number of staffers reviewing infrastructure projects, the result wasn't breathtaking speed. Instead, it was chaotic mismanagement, with approvals rubber-stamped without due process. Construction projects stalled or failed outright because legal permits were rushed and incomplete. Then came the public accountability piece. In Silicon Valley, companies achieve efficiency by embracing risk and disruption. If a product doesn't work, it can be adjusted or dropped altogether without fear of backlash. But governments don't have that luxury. Every policy decision touches millions of lives, and mistakes carry heavy consequences. When Musk pushed for data-driven decisions to funnel funding toward high-impact urban projects while slashing budgets for slower-producing rural initiatives, the move was met with outrage. Rural communities felt ignored, accusing the government of playing favorites with Musk's growth-first algorithms. Critics argued that equity, not just efficiency, should guide policy, forcing Musk to backpedal. The pressure to balance efficiency with equity became a turning point in Musk's experimental governance. Even the technical innovations Musk championed didn't play out as expected. Automated systems programmed to streamline tax filing were plagued with errors that flagged legitimate submissions as fraudulent. A new AI-driven permit review process mistakenly denied hundreds of applications because it misinterpreted legal jargon, proving that failing to humanize efficiency could make matters worse. Government staff wasted weeks scrambling to correct these issues, which added even more to their workload instead of reducing it. At one point, a particularly telling episode highlighted just how far Musk's experiment had spiraled out of control. A newly streamlined federal housing initiative promised faster construction times by bypassing traditional zoning protocols. Musk himself praised the effort as democracy in action, proving that speed didn't have to sacrifice quality. But mere weeks into implementation, a critical flaw was revealed. No one had properly assessed environmental risks. Entire neighborhoods were built in zones prone to flooding, leaving thousands of homes vulnerable to disaster. The backlash was swift, leading to lawsuits, protests, and a public relations nightmare Musk couldn't spin away. By now, the program was losing favor, and elected officials began distancing themselves from Musk's efficiency crusade. Critics pointed out an ironic truth. The measures meant to streamline government had actually slowed it down. Dismantling established processes led to endless confusion, necessitating more emergency meetings, temporary fixes, and patchwork solutions. Government officials spent more time troubleshooting Musk's debugging methods than executing their original duties. It was like hitting the refresh button on a computer that keeps freezing, only to watch it crash harder each time. In the end, the program was quietly wound down, and Musk's measures were largely abandoned. His defenders argued that the experiment failed not because of the ideas themselves, but because bureaucracies are simply too entrenched to evolve quickly. Musk, for his part, seemed unfazed. He returned to overseeing rockets and electric cars, claiming he'd learned valuable lessons about the limits of innovation against bureaucratic inertia. But the question remains, was this inefficiency truly inherent to government, or is there still room for reform, just not Musk-style reform? Experts argue that while efficiency is vital, it can't come at the expense of equity, robustness, and accountability. Perhaps next time, reformers might consider blending innovation with the human touch, crafting solutions that don't just work faster, but work better for everyone involved. Until then, Musk's experiment serves as both a cautionary tale and a reminder. Some systems can't run like software, and maybe they shouldn't.